In this video, we're going to explore how changing just one thing, the frequency, can completely change the behavior of a circuit. Here we have three simple circuits, one with a resistor, one with a capacitor, and one with an inductor. Now let's test all three using both DC and AC power sources and see how differently they behave. The resistor behaves pretty much the same in both cases. The light bulb glows normally with both DC and AC. But the capacitor circuit behaves very differently. With DC, the bulb only flashes briefly, then turns off. But with AC, the bulb stays on and glows normally. The inductor does almost the exact opposite. With DC, the bulb works just fine. But with AC, the current decreases and the bulb becomes dim. So why does simply switching from DC to AC completely change the behavior of these components? Why does a capacitor block DC but allow AC? And why does an inductor allow DC but resist AC more and more as the frequency increases? That's exactly what we're going to explore in this lesson.
Let's start with the resistive circuit. In all three cases, everything in the circuit stays exactly the same. The only thing we change is the frequency of the source. Now let's plot the voltage and current waveforms. When the frequency is 0 Hz, which means DC, both the voltage and the current remain constant over time. Now let's switch to a 50 Hz AC source. The voltage and current both become sinusoidal waves. The peak voltage rises to about 14.1 volts, and the peak current rises to about 0.7 amps. But when we calculate the RMS values, the voltage becomes 10 volts RMS, and the current becomes 0.5 amps RMS. Now let's increase the frequency to 200 Hz. Notice something interesting. Even though the frequency changes, the peak voltage and peak current stay exactly the same. So the RMS values also remain unchanged at 10 volts and 0.5 amps. This tells us something important. For a purely resistive circuit, the frequency does not affect the current at all. We can understand this using the resistor equation. This equation tells us that the current through a resistor is always directly proportional to the voltage across it. So it doesn't matter whether the voltage is constant like DC or continuously changing direction like AC. The current simply follows the voltage instantly. If the voltage increases, the current increases. If the voltage reverses direction, the current reverses too. But the frequency itself does not change the amount of current flowing through the resistor. Now let's move on to the capacitor circuit. In all three cases, the circuit components stay exactly the same. The only thing we change is the frequency of the source, and notice how it changes the brightness of the light bulb. Now let's plot the voltage and current waveforms. When the frequency is 0 Hz, which means DC, we can observe that no steady current flows through the circuit. At first, there may be a very tiny burst of current while the capacitor charges up, but once the capacitor becomes fully charged, the current stops completely. That's why the light bulb stays off. Now let's switch to a 50 Hz AC source. The voltage becomes sinusoidal, and this time we can observe a small sinusoidal current flowing through the circuit, with the current leading the voltage in phase. The peak voltage rises to about 14.1 volts, and the peak current reaches about 0.42 amps. When we calculate the RMS values, the voltage becomes 10 volts RMS, while the current becomes 0.3 amps RMS. That's why the light bulb glows dimly. Current is flowing through the circuit, but not enough to make the bulb fully bright.
Now let's increase the frequency to 200 Hz. Notice something interesting. The peak current increases even more, reaching about 1.1 amps. So even though the RMS voltage stays exactly the same at 10 volts, the RMS current increases to about 0.78 amps. That means more current is flowing through the circuit, which is why the light bulb now glows much brighter. This reveals something very important about capacitors. As the frequency increases, the current through a capacitive circuit also increases. In other words, Capacitors oppose low-frequency signals much more strongly than high-frequency signals. If we look at the capacitor equation, it tells us that the current through a capacitor depends on how fast the voltage across it changes. When the supply voltage is constant, like DC, the voltage across the capacitor also eventually becomes constant. And if the voltage is no longer changing, the current becomes zero. At that point, the capacitor behaves almost like an open switch. The entire supply voltage appears across the capacitor, leaving almost no voltage across the light bulb. So the bulb turns off in the DC circuit with a series capacitor. But with AC, the voltage is continuously changing direction and magnitude. That means the voltage across the capacitor is also constantly changing, which allows current to keep flowing through the circuit. And that's why the light bulb works with AC. For circuits containing resistance and capacitance, we already derived the full current equation in a previous video. So if you're not familiar with that derivation, you may want to watch that lesson first. By replacing angular frequency omega with 2 pi f, we get the capacitive reactance equation. This equation reveals something very important. As the frequency increases, the capacitive reactance decreases. In simple terms, the capacitor offers less opposition to the current at higher frequencies. And when the opposition decreases, more current flows through the circuit, making the light bulb brighter, which perfectly matches what we observed earlier in the experiment.
Now let's move on to the inductor circuit. In all three cases, the circuit components stay exactly the same. The only thing we change is the frequency of the source, and notice how it changes the brightness of the light bulb. Now let's plot the voltage and current waveforms. When the frequency is 0 Hz, which means DC, we can observe the current is about 1 amp, so the bulb glows really brightly. Now let's switch to a 50 Hz AC source, where the bulb appears dimmer than before. The voltage becomes sinusoidal, and this time we can observe a sinusoidal current flowing through the circuit, with the current lagging behind the voltage in phase. The peak voltage rises to about 14.1 volts, while the peak current reaches only about 0.43 amps. When we calculate the RMS values, the voltage becomes 10 volts RMS, and the current becomes 0.3 amps RMS. So the bulb becomes dimmer because less current is flowing through the circuit. Unlike the resistor, the inductor now opposes the changing current, reducing the amount of current that can flow through the bulb. Now let's increase the frequency to 200 Hz. Notice something interesting. The light bulb becomes almost completely dark. The peak current decreases even further, dropping to only about 0.11 amps. So even though the RMS voltage still stays at 10 volts, the RMS current decreases to about 0.08 amps. That's almost no current at all, which is why the bulb appears nearly dark. This reveals something very important about inductors. As the frequency increases, the current through an inductive circuit decreases. In other words, inductors oppose high-frequency signals much more strongly than low-frequency signals. So the faster the current tries to change, the harder the inductor pushes back against it.
If we look at the inductor equation, it tells us that the voltage across an inductor depends on how fast the current through it changes. In other words, an inductor opposes changes in current by generating its own opposing voltage. When the supply voltage is constant, like DC, the current eventually becomes constant too. And once the current stops changing, the voltage across the inductor becomes almost zero. So the inductor behaves nearly like a short circuit. That's why the bulb glows brightly in the DC circuit. It's almost as if the bulb is connected directly to the power source. But with AC, the current is constantly changing direction and magnitude, so the inductor continuously generates an opposing voltage across itself. And that opposing voltage limits the current flowing through the circuit, which is why the bulb becomes dimmer. For circuits containing resistance and inductance, we already derived the full current equation in a previous video. So if you're not familiar with that derivation, you may want to watch that lesson first. By replacing angular frequency omega with 2 pi f, we get the inductive reactance equation. This equation shows that as the frequency increases, the inductive reactance also increases. In simple terms, the inductor offers more opposition to the current at higher frequencies. And as that opposition increases, less current flows through the circuit, which is why the light bulb becomes dimmer, which perfectly matches what we observed earlier in the experiment.
So, as a summary, a resistor is not affected by frequency, but capacitors and inductors behave very differently as the frequency changes. For capacitors, higher frequency means more current. For inductors, higher frequency means less current. So even changing just the frequency can completely change the behavior of a circuit.
With that, we've come to the end of this lesson. Next, watch the playlist on high-pass and low-pass filters, where we'll see these ideas in action. If you found this helpful and want more step-by-step videos like this, you can support this project on Patreon. Your support really helps keep this kind of content going. And of course, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who might find it useful. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.